All right, so we'll go to this would be the DeVonta big play. Let's see, this is clip 10 here, Julia. So basically, they came out at this point, and this was three big plays to DeVonta Smith, three big completions. The 11th possession, the Eagles came out. I want to say, let's see, what was the score at this point? I believe it was a one-score game. Yeah, so this is 22-16. Jacksonville punts back to the Eagles. They go on an 8-play drive. It starts with the Saquon run for 21 yards. I should also make the note that the offensive line was outstanding in this game, and we've seen a lot of clean pockets for Jalen Hurts, but in the run game and the double teams at the point of attack were outstanding, and overall the protection was really good. Now, I mentioned earlier that they set up this play earlier to me with the opening drive. They run that little play action play to Ben Van Sumeren in the flat. It goes for no yardage. Here, it's the same kind of action. You see E.J. Jenkins is coming back across the formation to block the defensive end, Trayvon Walker. It's under center, play action from a heavy personnel set. The only receiver on the field is DeVonta Smith. Julie, if you go to the next play, because of the play action fake, all of the coverage on the left side for Jalen Hurts is all towards the line of scrimmage. So it's essentially 2 versus 1. DeVonta Smith versus the corner and the safety to that side. DeVonta does an outstanding job with his route. He pushes really hard vertically, and you get a good visual because he's working right down the right hash mark. And the reason why it's important for him to not drift and to really make sure he holds this vertically down the field is that it's going to affect both of the defensive backs. And Julie, if you go to the next shot, you can see by DeVonta pushing so hard vertically, look what that safety does. He breaks down and opens up to DeVonta's right. And now as soon as that happens, DeVonta's got him cooked. He puts his foot in the ground and breaks back towards the left. And then it becomes a foot race between DeVonta Smith and a much older Ronald Darby. Jalen lays this out. It was a perfect throw on that against that coverage on that route. And DeVonta runs under it for a big play and 46 yards.
And this is the one that Jalen said he struggled with during the week of practice. So,
yeah, he said the time. What was it exactly? He said like the timing was off with him and AJ.
Yeah,
and they ran into
he missed it. Yeah, so he felt good about the fafact that he hit DeVonta on it.
It was a beautiful throw. And then it was a few plays later. We get to the next one, and this is clip 11. Julia, this is the touchdown to DeVonta Smith. So this is his third. This is his third catch on the drive. First one came on third down. Then you saw that under center shot play that we just looked at. Here is the touchdown. This was after a penalty, so they brings him back. So it's 3rd and a mile. You can see that it's an empty set. So it's 3-by-2 formation. You have 3 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. It's DeVonta Smith to the bottom of the screen. That's Kenny Gainwell in the near slot to the bottom. And I just wanted to show that it's 3-by-2 because having 3 receivers to the left has a direct impact on how the Jacksonville Jaguars choose to defend this route concept. Because, if you go to the next one, you can see that the safety to that side, he is opened up to the 3 receiver side. He's looking that way. Because in quarters coverage, typically you think of quarters and you're like, oh, well, it's 2 safeties on one side, 2 DBs on one side, 2 DBs on the other, and they split the field in the quarters. But when you have 3 receivers to one side, safeties now typically are taught that you have to actually look on the 3 receiver side and key anything that's coming that way. So that safety on that side, he's not looking at DeVonta Smith. If this were a 2-by-2 set, and we know that the Eagles, we've talked about this a lot here on the show, if this were 2-by-2, that safety would not be looking to the other side. He'd instead be looking at Kenny Gainwell. And if Gainwell if let's say he ran this underneath route, though you can see that Gainwell has barely left the line of scrimmage because he's chipping the defensive end. And if in this scenario, if this were 2-by-2, that safety's looking at DeVonta Smith, and it essentially becomes a double team on DeVonta Smith. But because you had 3 receivers to the other side, that is holding that safety over the other way. So now this becomes 1-on-1. And again, it's DeVonta against Ronald Darby. Really quickly, you can go to the next shot. Perfect, Julia. Yeah, you go to the next shot. This is a great route from DeVonta Smith because he pushes, again, really hard vertically. That gets Darby to open up towards the field. Now DeVonta opens up, and he ends up going out towards the sideline. It's a double move. Basically, it's like an out and up route, and he gets Ronald Darby on his heels, and it's a big play touchdown. He blows by him. That's the last shot there. But a great route, insane catch, great throw from Jalen. The protection was there. They had 2 chips on the play, helping out the tackles. So outstanding job. Great execution across the board.
And do you see on film what Jalen was talking about him not having vision to this throw?
I couldn't quite see that on the play. I'll take a look and see actually on the screen grabs. You might be able to see. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty clean pocket. Like I think he just has to kind of trust that DeVonta's going to open up here because it's a little bit of a cloudy picture. When he does have to let this loose, it's basically a spot throw for Jalen on that point.
That's what he said.
Is that all right? So yeah, it's a
he said
spot
he's throwing
throw.
to a spot.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like I think this is where DeVonta's supposed to be. I'm going to cut this loose. They're running the same route at the top of the screen. It's funny because you could see like the difference between DeVonta Smith and Jahan Dotson because Dotson's running the same exact route and does not get nearly the same level of separation going up against that corner on the other side. He's going up against a better corner there in Tyson Campbell, but that was a great throw, great catch.
Yeah, Jalen said there's two elements here. First off, he's throwing it to a spot. It's the trust that he has in DeVonta because he doesn't quite have vision on DeVonta, and perhaps that might have been where DeVonta was on the route too, not just the offensive line. But additionally, he needs to put it in a spot in the back of the end zone where only DeVonta can catch it because he doesn't want the interception there either. So DeVonta has to make a great catch there, but Jalen has to put the ball in that spot so DeVonta is in position to make that catch.
I was surprised after the game to find that this was a career high in deep completions for Jalen Hurts in this game. According to Next Gen, it was 4 completions of 20-plus yards. That's down the field, like air yard completions. That was a career high. I was surprised by that.
Me too.
I figured there'd be more like in the 2022 season or last year, but not the case.
We all silly like the mayor.